Hey guys, what's going on? David here, and today we're talking about the 7 mistakes guys typically make when they are pursuing a woman, and that's actually whether they think the woman has interest in them or they're unsure, unclear if that woman has interest. Applies on both sides of the coin. Obviously, it's not as good if you're unclear, and better if you're clear or have some kind of clarity or feeling that she's interested in you. Okay. So, right, all the time guys reaching out, hey, how do I know? Recently did a video on attraction signals. You can look that up. And how do I know? And what do I do? What do I say? And a lot of times it's important to know what not to do, right? And so that's what we're going to talk about here in particular, so that you don't make these mistakes when you're interacting with women or a particular girl. Okay. So, and this, right, doesn't matter the level of success, guy, because, having other areas to life is good for you. Other areas together of life is good for you, right? Having your career stuff together, your health, your finances, other social relationships and stuff. But even when that's together, right, guys can really struggle with this, right? And that guy comes to me all the time. If that sounds like you, I know you can resonate with that, because that's been me, right? That was me on my journey. I had a good career in IT, PR before that. Then I got into IT, made good money, or worked my way up to making good money, lots of friends, nice place, all that kind of stuff, apartment in New York City, blah, blah, blah. And struggled with women until I started coming across, wow, you can actually improve this stuff. You don't just have it or you don't, right? So let's dive in here. So the first mistake that guys make is confessing or revealing their true feelings for her, what I really feel for her. She needs to know that I like her, okay? She needs to know that I'm in love with her. Oof, really, really, really not good. The basic rule around this is show, don't tell, right? Being that guy, and that guy doesn't do that, right? He doesn't confess his feelings. Common, or against mainstream common dating advice even, right? But it's sort of like on the flip side, if you're ever confused about how interested they are in you, you have to watch what she's showing you in her behavior, not what she's saying, if things aren't lining up. I'm not saying that what she says won't align with her behavior, but that's why there's all this stuff around, you can't understand women, this and that. It's not true. It's just that women are more like cats and men are more like dogs, more direct, more straight, easy to understand. Cats, more circular, like this, right? It's just, I've had cats. My family's had cats all our lives. We had a dog once, but it's really true. And that's why this stuff isn't so clear. But just like I understand cats, I understand women with attraction and all this. Dogs are easy to understand, right? A lot of times cat owners are fine with dogs. Sometimes they don't, but a lot of times dog owners don't like cats because they don't understand why it won't come when you call it. Just like women. When you show your interest or overshow it or tell it, more like, but even show it sometimes. That's a finer point. I should probably make a different video on that. That she goes running. It's like, what the hell? This should be straightforward. But nature hasn't really intended it to be that way, has it now? So, number one, don't confess your feelings. That stuff has to build that attraction, the connection, the physicality, right? The intimacy, okay? The second is adorning her, showering her, giving gifts, really, okay? This is old school chivalry, old school protector, provider stuff back in the day when women didn't make money or didn't have the autonomy and independence they have now, and the men had the resources, this and that type of thing, right? It's not like that anymore. And even back in the day, I've talked about this before, if you look at great seducers like... is it Don Juan or who's the other guy? I can't even remember the names now. Spanish guys, right? Spanish, Italian, whatever. Big famous ones. Some of them had money. It's true. Some of them were like nobles or whatever. But the whole seduction was about the energy exchange and understanding women and their desires and what they really wanted deep down. So I don't even believe that back then that real attraction happened through resources, right? For a guy having a lot of resources and buying all the stuff and keeping her well protected and all this. Obviously on a survival level, that's good for her. But even recently there was a guy that I spoke to who had gotten into a situation with the women he met online that he was supporting her basically and her kids, and they have never been physically intimate, romantic. And it's a pickle. And I said, you know, you got to make some decisions. And he also wasn't okay with seeing other women because he had emotionally gotten attached to her. That's a rare case. And that's one that, you know, something else is probably going on. He needs to, you know, wish him the best and go fix that. That's what he told him to do. And then come back, you know, to really lock this other stuff in. But that baseline is just, yeah, that's not good, right? But it's in that very paying for stuff role. And gifts is a lighter way that happens, but it still has the same feel, right? Attraction doesn't happen through that. Let alone a lot of women don't really care about that stuff. Like there are some women that are going to care about that, the gifts. They call that the love languages and all that stuff, right? But less so even more today, right? People care more about experiences, quite frankly. Now money could tie into that, but still, right, the vibe and everything I talk about is the experience you give women and give a woman, right? So the second one, gift giving, all that stuff. The third is throw out an ultimatum. When you throw out an ultimatum, you don't want to do that. Sometimes it goes like this. Been hanging out with a girl, you like her, you know, exchange numbers, nothing physical has happened or whatever. Or maybe you do start seeing her and it's like, what's happening? What are we? There needs to be a decision. You know, this needs to turn into something or I'm out of here. Okay? You don't want to do that. Immediately making demands on her like that it's gonna crush the whole thing. If you're in a friend place, it's going to, well, I mean, you've got other problems going on anyways. And if you're seeing her and you guys are casually seeing each other and hopefully you're having fun, it's going well, and then you come in, it's pretty much over. Okay. So you don't do that. No ultimatums in any part of the process. The fourth thing is getting angry, especially passive-aggressive anger, like a silent anger or what I call hard aloofness. I used to do this. I did this with more than just women, but being aloof but in a way that's like, screw you. If you're not going to see me, the value in me, and that I'm worth this, and that you know, you should be with me, and I'm so great and all this, and she doesn't experience that or isn't attracted in that way. Maybe she thinks, okay, you're a good person, but not in an attraction way. It doesn't work either. In a way, I guess it's better than, you know, constantly like kind of fawning over her. And maybe you're drawing a boundary to move on, but using it as a tactic to try to like, she'll see, I'll prove to her, she knows what's up, she can feel it. Stuff doesn't work. Okay. So number 4 is that passive aggressive anger, right? Silent anger, hard aloofness. The fifth one is being overly apologetic. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm late, I'm sorry I'm this, I'm sorry I'm that. Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said I liked you, I shouldn't have told you that. And none of that, right? Being really apologetic. And sometimes that nice behavior is really fakey to people, because when people do that, they're not really sorry. Like, genuine apologies are good. Genuine, I'm sorry, right? Coming from the heart. But this kind of behavior that is more about, I'm sorry, don't look at me in a bad light, don't think I'm a jerk, don't think I'm a bad person, is really about the person saying they're sorry, not wanting to look bad. You know, a lot of times, another little way this creeps out is when guys, you know, get on the phone with them, on a call, and they're like, I don't want to be that bad boy guy, I hate those guys. Well, I get it, and you don't want to be that guy, but hating on those guys can kind of have the snapback effect where you're trying to act all nice on the other side, which doesn't work, even though the bad boy gets more attraction and ass than you do. It's not good to be him, and you don't have to be him because it's toxic. but this whole, so I'll be nice. I'll be really nice, right? And I like to think, there's nothing wrong with being genuinely nice, like a genuinely nice person, I like to use the word kind. Kind people are strong. They have backbones. They stand up for themselves and others in the right way, but they're not out there trying to prove themselves, and they have compassion for people, right? Overall, we're not perfect. None of us are as human beings per se. That's how I see it. So we got to be accepting to a certain degree. And people don't really like being around people that are judging, right? Do you like it? I don't. I used to be super judging. Sometimes my mind still goes judging, but I do my best to practice being way less judgmental than I used to be, right? So I practice being kind, but not, I'm nice, I'm sorry, which is not really sorry unless it's like, I'm sorry I'm so late this time. Because if somebody's really sorry too, they're going to fix that thing. And if it's really something to apologize about, and usually when somebody has that pattern, it's not about being sorry. It's about being looked on in a bad light, which doesn't work. Guys that are really worried about not looking bad are the guys that lack the cojones in general to interact with, women that are attractive, and that's okay, right? It's something to work on, but when they lack that courage to be a bit bold, and they're really afraid of how they come across or in their head or whatever, it just doesn't work, right? So that's number 5. Number 6 is going through her friends, letting her know that you like her. I saw this recently. The female friend of mine, the guy did it with her. Okay, our friends, and I was like, wow. And these people in their late 40s, fellas. So it's really not now. And he's a tall, good-looking guy, artistic, dresses well, but he's got some not very good behaviors, including socially. So, you guys know the deal. And being socially good with people, being socially engaging, do a fair amount. You don't have to be super extrovert, but understanding people, being good with them, being good socially, having some good baseline skills is always a good thing. It's not the whole picture, right? Because a guy could be really social, but really, really hardcore chasing women, and they're like, ha ha ha, he's so funny, everybody loves him, but he's just so nice, right? That nice term again, right? He's so nice. I love him, like a teddy bear feel. You don't want to be the teddy bear when it comes down to it, right? If you have a teddy bear quality about you, that's one thing, but if you're the teddy bear they want to snuggle up to and cuddle with, but not do anything more than that kind of vibe, that's no good. Okay, so 6, don't be telling her friends. It's kind of like the first one, but through her friends, right? And then the 7th one is coming from, this is a trick one, okay? Some of you already know the answer because of how I titled the video. It was a trick. Is coming from a pursuing mindset at all. What are you doing? Smack, 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 smack. Brotherly, loving smack. To those of you that didn't figure that out, okay? Well, if it's your first time here, okay, you're forgiven. You have to be forgiven. First, second time. But if you watch in my Attraction Uncommand Masterclass, the whole thing is about getting women to pursue you. So even thinking, shame on you, that you should be pursuing women instead of meeting them socially, being this guy with this vibe like I talk about in the masterclass, so on and so forth. Okay, so listen, if you really feel you need some help with this stuff, running into some obstacles and challenges, we can book a call together and we'll map out a plan, talk about what's working, what's not, roadblocks, challenges, all that stuff. Your personal vision, even what your ideal 10 looks like. There is no 10. There's just your ideal 10. And see for how I can best help you out, okay? So again, to recap here, we have number 1. Make sure I got the order right in my notes here. Confessing your true feelings. Number 2, giving her gifts. Showering her and adorning her in a chivalrous old school way. My mouth isn't working so well today. Number 3, throw out an ultimatum, okay? Number 4, that silent anger, that hard aloofness, it's got to go. Number 5, being overly apologetic, saying you're sorry. 6, going through her friends to tell her you like her. And number 7, coming from a pursuit mindset at all. Okay, I hope that helps you guys today. And until next time, we're complete. Peace.